Hello Ravers, and welcome to the Electric DM Hall of Fame. This is the video documentary series that covers iconic and pinnacle DJs/producers of the electronic dance music world. During the time making and posting of this video, the project being covered is still in the professional EDM scene, creating bangers, touring/performing, or both. As the world of electronic music has countless DJs and producers, very few have the bragging rights to show how their project shaped the entire EDM scene. With that said, this series of videos will cover the project, the creator or members, and tours/travels. Most importantly, the music that got these projects the impactful recognition for all the listeners and fans. Lastly, some songs easily resembling a generation, an era, and in some cases, representing a category of EDM itself. For a project to be placed in the Electric DM Hall of Fame, at least two of the first four requirements must be met, and the last one being mandatory. First, creator of a record label and or 10 plus years of tours/travels. Second, familiar with at least two categories of EDM. An example would be Hardstyle and Progressive House. Third, gargantuan standings in the EDM scene. Any examples listed below will qualify the project. Fourth, recognized for shifting the music scene, earning nominations and awards such as the Grammys, DJ Top 100, etc. Lastly, 5+ signature songs that are icons in the music world. Originals and or official remixes qualify. Special note, the project name can have a time of taking a break from the scene due to health/unfortunate circumstances or replanning the project as long as the creator does not confirm the end of the project or leaves the music scene space entirely in less than 10 years. Remember, not just any EDM artist can be in the Hall of Fame. So let's dive in to the second episode of the Electric DM Hall of Fame. Whew, man, oh man, good to be back and doing these documentaries. And it took me a while for my script to be complete, revising it, making adjustments here and there, but I know that I got this one down. For this documentary is going to be a special one, and a lot will be covered with this project. So grab yourself some snacks, electrolytes, and a Q dance flag. It's going to be a fun one. I've been meaning to not only make a YouTube documentary on this project itself, but this is my first documentary on the hardstyle genre of EDM. It kind of gets to my heart. Fun little fact, I was exposed to the hardstyle before I even knew it was called hardstyle during the mid to late 2000s. It was around early 2008, and it's thanks to this duo that I heard of their style. One of the first producers I got to hear some of their earliest hits as they were making their name known to the dance music world. What am I talking about? The gargantuan duo Showtek, arguably one of the pioneers with the hardstyle movement itself. Now ravers of all sorts, it's time to bring forth these Hall of Famers. Showtek is a Dutch electronic dance music duo, DJs, and producers of two brothers, ranging from Eindhoven, Netherlands. Sjoerd Jansen, I believe I'm saying that name correctly. Let me see. I think I was kind of close. It's actually pronounced Sjoerd Jansen. And with some of these Dutch names, they are a little bit tricky to pronounce. So if I do mispronounce your name, Showtek, I apologize in advance. So Sjoerd Jansen, born on April 6, 1984, him being the younger of the duo, and Wouter Jansen, born on August 30th, 1982, being the older brother of the two. Their most recognized category of dance music is none other than hardstyle. As time went on, the bros even branched out with certain house styles like progressive, big room, electro, and future house. But to my surprise, their roots was actually techno music for about 2 years when the duo started in 2001. Now recognized as multi-genre, the majority of true supporters understand the iconic main phase of their hardstyle touch for the EDM world. In order to see how their music has impacted millions of ravers, we gotta go back to the early times, or should I say, early sounds, of Sjoerd and Wouter. The two started it all in 2001, taking their first testing sounds into hard techno. It was a fun surprise that many, including myself, would catch note of their original tunes of the techno beats. Their first songs were Basement/Save the Day and Controller, being local songs the two would play in their earliest adventures. However, the 2 years into that journey of sound shifted to an even harder style that would make new and especially old school ravers dance and roar with joy to the beautiful colors of the hardstyle. Now the year is 2003. The bros went away from the techno and hard trance into a more impacting sound. It was the curiosity in creating hard-hitting songs that the two discovered hardstyle. As it took place, Showtek was introduced into the world of Q dance. And this is where one of their first songs, Seid Ihir Bereid, was submitted. Other notable songs like Brain Crackin' and Rockin' Steady were unique hits in the mid-2000s. However, it was a song being called Colors of the Harder Styles brought massive attention to Sjoerd and Wouter. To back this successful song up with the Showtek project, the duo released not one, but 2 albums, being Today is Tomorrow and Analog Players in a Digital World. Both albums being 2 years apart, these two were energetic and a significant move with their early production times. Of course, we can't forget about how they slayed the decks as they performed on many stages, big and small. Some of the songs included Raver, Get Up, and Party Lover from the first album. The second album with songs such as We Speak Music, Early Sounds, and World Is Mine, bringing more successful hits to the dance floor. No, not that World Is Mine. Miku, now's not the time. Side questing for a few seconds. Showtek did take note of Hatsune Miku at one point, and I'll cover that in the fun facts. Back on track here. There's a song that not only became a signature hit for Showtek, but this tune defined an era in hardstyle and electronic music itself. It's these 3 little words that represent in screwing everything in the world and live in the moment with the music. Easily an iconic song of the 2000s decade for dance music, and that song is FTS. This tune being released to the rave scene in 2006 still hits the overwhelming realities of life, giving the listener an audio journey to forget about everything in the world and rave till the break of dawn. Any EDM lover not knowing how impactful this song is for the category of hardstyle, in my opinion, needs to experience a crowd chanting the lyrics live and with full force. Also, any hardstyle lover saying this song is just another regular hardstyle song, that would be an understatement. Showtek states with how powerful their signature song makes its impact with the real world and the dance floor music. We all grew up with our frustrations and ideas of the world. A lot of swearing too. FTS gets a message across. We knew we had something special, but never would have thought that after 20 years it would still be so current. This is very special to us, and I don't think a lot of people get to experience it. With FTS, this track went viral in not one, but 2 ways. The first was how relatable this song was to the thousands and millions of listeners that just want to escape reality for a couple of hours/days and rave. This song goes all in with the song's message to simply say, fuck the system that we are in while being lost, dancing and vibing in a club/underground or festival. The second was the FTS tune alongside a handful of other hardstyle songs went viral in the mid to late 2000s shuffle era. Many ravers and dancers played these songs to record themselves shuffling for video sharing platforms like YouTube and MySpace. First starting in the European countries and quickly spreading all over the United States. In fact, another song from Showtek to be a part of this batch was a remix of No One Can Stop Us by the Donkey Rollers. Showtek gorgeous mix, that is. Others that I'll briefly mention would be the following tracks: Dark Oscillators, Superstar DJ and Stereophobia, Patrick Bunton, Youngbirds, Transgenerators, Do You Want a Balloon, Alpha Twins, Smack My Derb, SMF, Ha Ha Ha, Headhunters, D-Tune, and so many more. I know I'm missing many more viral and nostalgic tracks, but let's get back to the pioneers of hardstyle, shall we? Thanks to the first 2 albums, the duo traveled to various destinations all over the world. Showtek at that time was an early bright project with a force to be reckoned with. One unique venue they played would be the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles, California, as openers in the late 2009s. One of the brothers personally mentioned their first time opening the Palladium to a crowd with their gargantuan return as the main headliners at the exact same venue in 2024. We will return to that story later on in the video though. Giving the final touch on this song, I'll let Wouter explain in small words what this song represents for the ravers of the hardstyle world.
Yeah, and to quote our good friend and TM in Australia, Grant, he said, "It's not your song anymore. FTS is the song of the people now."
It is the song of the people.
The era of the hardstyle was the scene to be at. Nothing but adrenaline, hard banging rhythms, dancing it out with other ravers, and no breaks with the music till sunrise. However, as time went on, the two were getting out of touch with the hardstyle scene. That was the case when the announcement of Showtek leaving hardstyle took place in the early 2010s. In 2012, Showtek quit the hardstyle scene and started producing house tracks. According to the duo, they stated the following: "We didn't really feel at home anymore in the hard scene, and in fact, we haven't for some time. We needed a change. Now it feels like we're doing the right thing, and if we're happy, the fans can be happy. We definitely made the right choice." Remember, many artists and producers can hold a category of music down to their core, and it gives a powerful stand in that style of music. But it is important to experiment in other categories of EDM or other genres of music itself. That diversification opens new inspiration and flavors of tunes to become multi-genre. Going deeper with the choice in leaving hardstyle, Showtek member Wouter Jensen says, "I feel I played every possible melody and nothing new could come out anymore. So instead of disappointing fans with forced releases, the duo decided it was better to pivot into a new lane where they could thrive creatively." As Showtek stated earlier in making a good choice in leaving hardstyle, they were damn right, because in that path, the two made numerous big room, electro, and future house tracks. If Showtek didn't shift, their top hitting songs, including Bad with David Guetta and Vasi, Cannonball, and one of their first signature big room tracks, Booyah, wouldn't exist. This style they kept delivering, even landed in main stage music festivals in the 2010s decade. With numerous main headlining club nights and festival sets, one being very notable includes Ultra Music Festival Miami main stage in 2017. Go and take a look on YouTube with this set, as the guys threw it down in the house status and a touch of hardstyle. Yes, the two didn't fully leave their first love of hardstyle, as another notable set was played for Australia on that same year. This was Showtek, the return set at Knockout Circus 2017. With this fun set, countless were hoping one day the two will return to the iconic roots of hardstyle to FTS it all up again. Years later, the long wait was finally over, as Sjoerd and Wouter returning to the iconic roots became a reality. The return to their first love, hardstyle, was finally in full swing after a long 12 years. The two have dabbled with other categories of EDM for a good while, only to find their love of hardstyle was hidden for far too long. This return of the hardstyle was filled with high energy and unlocking a new chapter for the Showtek project and listeners of the hardstyles. Making this a reality was thanks to the years of collaborating with singers and producers to make what is now the 360 Blue Hardstyle album. Covering the 360 albums, for the blue one in particular, this was a return for Showtek, bringing in the OG hardstyle lovers and brand new listeners that didn't experience the hype of the project's old but legendary hits. Bringing a new lineup of songs for all to experience, and of course, a blast from the past with some original hardstyle heat. The two have been planning this album since around late 2018-2019, but didn't want to fully leave behind the now recognized multi-house style they built up. Sjoerd mentions in a video interview with the album being called 360 and repping a circle, it was time to return with the harder styles and give the new elements the two have shown while they took that long hiatus. In order to do this, though, they first took care of their first 360 album, which was 360 Yellow. This being mainly focused on 128 beats per minute main house status, and then giving a new fresh album that's exclusive to the hardstyle world. This went incredibly well that selective places in the world hosted the 360 Blue World Tour to only play their hardstyle songs, new and old. Record sales went in, and just about all, if not every destination was sold out for the 360 album tour. The album tour went worldwide for the months of June to October 2024, reaching destinations such as Australia, Netherlands, Germany, Peru, Tokyo, Sweden, and more. The set that dominated over 9,000 to 10,000 ravers in Showgrounds, Sydney, Australia was one such set that the entire continent would remember. Another location that struck the duo to the very core of the project's existence was none other than Los Angeles, California at the Hollywood Palladium on July 5th, 2024. And guess what? I was there, as you can see with this video. And a massive thank you in advance to Showtek for this historical night to always remember, not only for the project itself, but for the world of hardstyle. Of course, I'll be including some of the footage that I definitely took 100% upfront for Showtek at the Hollywood Palladium, and this was an absolute life-changing set for 2024 in and of itself.
Seriously, thank you all for coming out tonight. As you know, we're playing a lot of new music, but we know, we got some die-hard fans.
Yes! Woo! Yes!
So, thank you so much for loving all the new music, but we know some guys follow us for a long time.
Yes! Woo!
Guys, you have no idea. We came to, hold up, let me say this. We came to LA in 2008 for the first time.
Holy shit.
We played San Bernardino, we played here in 2009.
Yes!
Guys, it's been almost 2 fucking decades and you guys are still loving us, supporting us.
Woo!
It's fucking amazing. Thank you so much. So, if you want to hear some motherfucking Showtek classics,
Yes! Let's go!
wait, I gotta record that shit because no one's gonna fucking believe me. Hold on, we're gonna do it one more time. Oh shit.
Let's go!
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more time. If you wanna use a Showtek classic,
Let's go!
oh shit. You ready? You ready?
Let's go!
Are you fucking ready?
You ready?
I'm a motherfucking raver
With the hardstyle flavor, I'm the motherfucking raver. With the hardstyle flavor, I'm the motherfucking.
Countless legends have taken on the Palladium stage, and Showtek 1000% has earned this night for everything that they have done for the hardstyle world. One more massive thanks, especially to Wouter with this move.
Okay, are you guys ready? Make some motherfucking noise.
Yes!
Where it all began.
Well, as of 2025, the duo are still going strong and with much more in store for the project to continue going onward in hopes to reach for 25 and even maybe 30 years of Showtek. We'll see. Their fall and winter 2025 tour is ongoing at the time I'm posting this video, which will finish off New Year's Eve at Time Nightclub in Southern California. One thing is certain, the hardstyle world would not be what it is without these two and the EDM world itself. One more thing before covering the tours and travels section, a rumored third album for the 360 is confirmed by the bros, and it's 360 Red. Mixing both styles of the yellow and blue, this album is one to be looking forward to. However, as I'm making and posting this documentary, no confirmed date has been announced for the release of the third album, nor any official songs have been confirmed to be a part of it. or have been released yet as singles. Only time will tell, in hopes to have the 3 colorful circles of Showtek. Well, with that history done, let's take a look at the tours/travels. For the tours, it was a bit tricky to catch their confirmed named tours that they went on. 2 that I know 100% that I personally took a part of in seeing was their Amen tour in 2017 and their 360 Blue album tour in 2024. And to say that I went to go see them in 2017 for the first time was absolutely insane. I know the 2 have done countless tours all over Europe, Australia, and in North America, simply by just stating their headliner name and their destinations where they would go to. But for their actual themed tours, 100% was the Amen tour and the 360 Blue album tour. Next are the travels. Of course, these guys have been all over the world, not to mention in going into various places that I didn't even think that they would go to. One of them was to South America on a handful of occasions. One of these events was dominating the capital of Argentina in Buenos Aires for Ultra Music Festival Buenos Aires 2014. We definitely need to mention 100% with Showtek's appearances in Tomorrowland, EDCs, many types of EDCs, various Ultra Music Festivals, Q Dance Festival, DEFCON 1 Festival, with these 2 mainly themed as hardstyle dance music festivals in Europe. Countdown, Beyond, Escape, Electric Zoo, Decadence, and there's just so many more. Well, before we get into the fun facts, let's briefly take a look at their musical pages. Of course, we will be covering only SoundCloud and Spotify. Looking into the 2 important music pages with the music industry, the numbers go by the following. As of December 2025, SoundCloud has over 500,000 followers and over 420 tracks. Keep in mind, this is a combo of songs and podcast episode sets. Jumping into Spotify, their page has over 4.7 million monthly listeners. Let's not forget their own personal record label that is called Skink, over 100,000 followers and over 800 submitted tracks. Most of them are podcast DJ sets, while also being a place for submitted songs that were accepted into Showtek's record label. And a fun fact, this record label has now been running for 12 years. Speaking of the fun facts, time to shuffle some of these facts around for this part. For the first fact, it's actually not a fun one for one of the members. Sjoerd had 2 knee surgeries and spent several months in physical therapy for early 2020. Most likely this is from a sports accident. He also broke one of his ankles during a tour in Cambodia. Thankfully, with time and with healing, if you look at him today, it looks like if nothing happened to him in the first place. But I will say this, 100%, he was definitely not dancing or shuffling during this time period of healing. And he's usually running late in various appointments. While being in the Showtek project, the 2 have been noted to work on a couple of songs for Chris Brown. During a Q&A internet post, the 2 were asked if you can bring any artist back to life, who would it be? They chose to state the iconic artist, composer, producer, music visionary, and DJ Avicii. The bros are lovers of fresh baked bread and pies. Touching on Showtek's record label again, these 2 are hosts of Skink Radio with over 125 episodes on their own Skink SoundCloud page. Speaking of SoundCloud, if you go all the way back to their first release, Save the Day, at the time I took this screenshot, shows the song being released 25 years ago. That is insane. Remember the little section of Showtek taking note of Hatsune Miku? Well, I placed a story on my Insta that was attached with seeing Showtek, and the Showtek account did view this video. Miku on stage with KZ Livetune. This was a recording in 2018, so my bad with the low quality. I wonder what their opinions are with Vocaloid programs to be a part of the music world, since they have been noted for so many years. But as you know, Japan rings with Hatsune Miku. But Another screenshot that I would like to mention is this one right here. That's my comment a little over 4 years ago, writing to Showtek and them replying. I've only been doing DJ sets with pop-up performances and now seriously doing mashups. Yeah, I need to continue learning Ableton now. That's Ableton 12, not to mention me actually making the songs from scratch. But thank you, Showtek, for replying to this comment. I cannot believe that I found it. Both actually replied to me with their own inputs. First, it was Sjoerd and then Wouter. Some words of inspiration from the duo go by the following: trying to tell your whole story from what's inside of you / who you are, and translating that into music. Another pointer on inspiring new producers, Wouter says the following: does your vision of music match with your crowd or audience or whoever you are sharing your songs to? The last three things he states is patience, dedication, and time. Sjoerd also places a real fact of having 100 real supporters is better than 1,000 mediocre fans, along with creating your own space with your style of music, creating your own opportunities, if you can't find any. The two do enjoy the show Family Guy on occasion. Showtek made a theme song for a soccer team by the name PSV for their home country, and have mentioned in between tours they would go to their home country's soccer matches in person. I love these messages, and mainly the one where they don't condone the use of substances in their album tour or anywhere in general. Well, the fun facts are done. Let's get into the collaborations that they have done throughout the years. First, we're going to take a look at the hardstyle origins. Some would include Techno Boy, Toon Boy, Wild Styles, Noise Controllers, Gammer, Sub-Zero Project, Radical Redemption, and more. But a dream collab would be with this iconic hardstyle producer and visionary, Headhunters. Showtek, if you hear this, please give Willem a call. This needs to happen at some point for the entire hardstyle world. Just if you can make that happen, that would be incredibly epic. However, jumping outside of the hardstyle, let's take a look at who has been involved with Showtek's collaborations. Of course, we have David Guetta, Steve Aoki, OK, Major Lazer, Giuseppe Ottaviani, Timmy Trumpet, Hardwell, Tiesto, Bassjackers, and many more. Also, we're going to briefly mention a couple of singers, including Vassie, Earl S. Clare, Sonny Wilson, We Are Loud, and more. Now covering the record label submissions, let's see where Showtek has placed their tunes. Be Yourself Music, Dutch Masterworks, Q Dance, Ultra Records, Virgin, Mad Descent, Warner Music Benelux, Revealed Records, Skink, which is their own personal record label, Spinning Records, Atlantic Records, even submitted a song under Ausla. That fact surprised me big time when I was looking into their lore. Well, it's time for the main category, and it's their discography. We're going to break it down from the singles, remixes, and so much more. Of course, we got to see what they've worked on by themselves. For the singles, new and old school, we have Generation Kick and Bass, Laddie Fucking Da, Happy, Apologize, We Speak Music, one of my personal favorites. And one of their first ever submitted tracks was Basement / Save the Day. Virus, Raver, there's just too many to go through. But with the remixes, they have a fair handful, I would say. Of course, their iconic No One Can Stop Us remix from the Donkey Rollers, their Showtek Festival remix of Live in a Bubble, Show Some Love, Can't Take It From Me, Tonight I'm Getting Over You, Lovers of the Sun, and there's a few more. For their EPs, this one is a little complicated because 100% I know that the Amen EP for 2017 is one to have 4 separate songs. However, the way that they place their discography, some of the EPs would have their original song, but they would have a radio edit version, an extended version, and a vocal dub version, and so on. But there was just too many to go through, so I told myself, only find the ones that have 4 or more separate songs that batch together to an EP, and this is the only one that I found through SoundCloud and Spotify. I wasn't going to go through a giant hassle to see which songs were belonging with this album or with this batch or which one was an actual single. However, for the remixes, they have a lot of EPs for some of their songs that they've created, including Booyah, Satisfied with Vassy, Cannonball, Sun Goes Down. No, not that song, but that song is really good. Pour It Down, Pump Pump, Show Some Love, Live in a Bubble, and especially Mellow. Many producers from the hardstyle category and outside of the hardstyle world placed their submissions with these remix EPs for Showtek. I will be placing some of the producers on the screen, just letting you know, of course, with every remix EP or remix album, there were a lot of producers that submitted their songs. Well, for the albums, here are the main heavy hitters that Showtek has presented to the world, especially with some of their signature songs that are inside these unique gems of music. First, we'll be starting off Today is Tomorrow, with a total of 22 tracks released in 2007, Analog Players in a Digital World, with a total of 18 tracks released in 2009. Many years later, after EPs, so many singles, the 360 Yellow album, with a total of 21 tracks, was released in 2023. If you are a real hardcore Showtek fan and supporter, you would have caught note of this album first, before their iconic 360 Blue album, with a total of 15 tracks released in 2024. Both are in a deluxe version and full version albums, but for this case, we will only include the full version album. In total, they have released 4 signature albums under their own name. But, as I mentioned earlier, an anticipated 360 Red album is rumored to be released in the future. When will that be? Remains to be seen. As I will go over one more time, no official date or songs to be in the Red album have been shown or proven to the world. After producing a variety of genres over the last 20 years, Showtek states the following: "We felt it was time to bundle each genre into its own primary color. In the 360 project, they explained that it tells and captures the story of being more of an all-around act. And I am hoping that this one is going to be a clash of both worlds for the yellow and blue. So I'm very eager to hear 360 Red." Well, we are almost done with the documentary, but of course, I got to give my personal recommendations, but there are just so many out there, both from outside and inside hardstyle. But here's some that I would go for. Mellow, We Speak Music, Early Sounds, On Our Own, Believer, How We Do, Dream Adrenalized Remix, which I know that this wasn't Showtek's remix in and of itself, but this one is just so good with how they did the song Dream with Timmy Trumpet, but Adrenalized just made his own version with the hardstyle world, and man, this is just so good. No Harder, Ecstasy, which is one of my personal favorites from the 360 Blue album, especially if you bump it up with 1 octave. For some reason, it just gives you this gargantuan feeling of being in the freaking rave, and you don't ever want to let go. Just so many more. Lastly, we of course must cover the iconic songs of Showtek, and the songs go by the following: Colors of the Hardstyles. This was the festival anthem 2006 for DEF CON 1. Donkey Rollers, No One Can Stop Us, the Showtek remix. Party Lover, We Like to Party, World Is Mine, Bad with David Guetta and Vassy, Booyah, Raver, Cannonball, and last but not least, no one can forget the iconic song that got them to make a giant mark on the hardstyle world, FTS. Man, my final thoughts for this one. I didn't really have anything planned or scripted for it, but I gotta say, it's insane to think about it. More than 20 years and the duo are still going strong to this day. And as I mentioned in my intro, not just any producer can do this for that amount of years. And at the time that I'm making and posting of this documentary, 20 years, that still blows my mind. There are many more that do qualify for going 15, 20 years or so, but for Showtek to have this unique marking for being multi-genre is just absolutely insane. And I cannot thank Showtek enough for me having the experience to see them on multiple occasions, 3 times with their main house room status of being Electro House, Future House, Big Room, especially in 2017, where I do remember the second time I went to see them, I took this individual that I introduced her to Showtek as she introduced me to 2 unique projects, which was Wasted Penguins and Son Hollow. Going to see Showtek live with her was a beautiful memory, as that was the only time I ever took someone else to rave with me. However, choices were made, and unfortunately, not even 3 months of knowing this individual, that she decided to go on another path. However, I still stuck with Showtek, and just because I only had that one-time experience of raving with someone else many years ago did not mean that I was going to stop raving and going to these events to root for the titans of EDM, to underground individuals that are up and coming. And I'm so glad that I continue to hear Showtek's music, because the 360 album tour, that set changed my life in Hollywood Palladium. And it's unfortunate that some people deserve to lose unique people. None of us are perfect. However, the moment you disconnect from someone, you lose out on so many opportunities and so many experiences. But my experience was this one right here, being in front to see Showtek, the 2 brothers, the pioneers of the hardstyle world, and especially the flag that I will forever cherish. And it just meant so much to me. For our final send-off with this video, let us quote the anthem, the movement, and the iconic lyrics of one of the most important hardstyle songs of the genre. It's a timeless song with hard-hitting lyrics that will forever mark a gargantuan era of the early hardstyles. Aye yo, 1 2 1 2. Yeah. This is what I love and can't stop loving. Get wasted at parties from 9 till 7 in the morning. I live for the music. Rolling blunts, feeling high, getting loaded, or take some pills and go to La La Land. Spending all my money on dope and extreme high-priced tickets, but in the end it's all worth it. I like to live in my own world. Fuck regular life. Fuck a 9-to-5 job. I'm taught to enjoy every moment, every hour, every minute. That's what I do on Fridays and Saturdays. Why should I take life so seriously? I just want to do what I like to do, being far from reality, cause I can't stand society. It's my own world. I just want to hear the music. I think the whole system fucking sucks. Everybody's working their fucking ass off during the week, getting totally fucking stressed out. So what's wrong and what's right? I live for the weekend. I live for hard styles. I live for hardstyle, baby. Come on, let's go. What a way to wrap up this documentary, the 2nd episode of the Electric Hall of Fame. So I just gotta say to anyone that has watched this documentary from beginning to end, thank you so much for sticking around to seeing my hobby and giving justice to the titans of the electronic dance music world. Yes, I will return to making the electric DM10s, but I was messing around and learning Ableton little by little and making my own mashups, so in hopes that I can gain a little more knowledge into actually producing my own music. That's why I stepped away from this so long, not to mention personal health that I am recovering from. Once more, thank you all so much for watching this documentary. And if Showtek, if Sjoerd and Wouter end up hearing and seeing this documentary, this one is for you. Thank you to the both of you for your ongoing legacy of 20 plus years. And we are looking forward to hearing many more songs and reliving the old hardstyle love that we have all grew up with. Showtek's social media pages and musical pages will be in the EDM box below, along with my personal social media shenanigans being in the EDM box below. Lastly, I will forever live for hardstyle. Keep listening, stay safe, and rave on.
All together on the count of 3, make some noise. Put your hands up. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Wow. They told us we could play till 1:40, but I want to take some pictures with the fans. Yes. So we're gonna come to the front. If you want a picture, stay stay in the front. We got 10 minutes to do pictures. Make some noise, everyone!
History was made tonight.
History was made tonight. Thank you.
Yes, this was incredible.